All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the second part of the show, we're going to now talk about the Patriots letting go of their head coach, Jerod Mayo, after just one season. And there were some rumblings of that going into the game against the Bills. And I didn't really believe it because I thought, well, Jerod Mayo is their guy. Obviously, played for them as well. Was a linebacker for them back in the day. So I didn't think they were going to pull the plug after one season. But they did. They let him go. And oddly enough, after the Patriots won a game. And that was with Joe Milton playing most of that game. They beat the Bills' backups. And, a lot of people are talking about, well, it's because of the tank and that the Patriots had the number one overall pick, and because that they won, he ruined the tank, so they let him go. I'm not going to say that's the reason why, but that's what people are pointing to. The Patriots were in prime position to get the number one overall pick, and they won a meaningless game against the Bills, and now they drop down to number 4. Now, with the number one overall pick, the Patriots could have did a lot of things with that. They could have traded down because they don't need a quarterback. They have Drake May. So they're set there. But they could have been a team that could have taken just Travis Hunter. Now you're at the number 4 spot, and you could still trade down if you want. But yeah, so people are looking towards that. Anthony Manzano in the chat says, would give the Patriots franchise a bad look. Let's say they hire Mike Vrabel without interviewing minority candidates for the head coaching position after they fired Mayo. Yeah, the Patriots are going to bring in Mike Vrabel. That's what everybody is pointing to. Mike Vrabel interviewed with the Jets, and supposedly the interview went really well. But part of the reason, at least from what I was reading, is that, and what I'm hearing, is that Mike Vrabel interviewed with the Jets to put pressure on the Patriots to make a decision, let go of Mayo, and, hire him. Mike Vrabel wants the job, I get, is what I'm getting from this. And the Patriots, they let go of Jerod Mayo, who was the successor to Bill Belichick. And Mike Vrabel is going to be the coach, is what I'm getting at here. But what I didn't understand was, if they wanted Mike Vrabel, why didn't they just hire him originally? And I think it was just because Jerod Mayo was already in prime position to get the job, and they were already picking him. They were moving forward with him. So that's why Mike Vrabel, I guess, didn't get a shot. But I just think it's a little ridiculous. I mean, if they wanted Mike Vrabel last year, if they had the opportunity, and he was available, Titans let him go. The Patriots could have had him last year, and then, because this is a bad look, then you would have avoided this. Now, Robert Kraft was saying this was a very tough decision. He's going to say that. But this could have all been avoided. If they really wanted Mike Vrabel, they could have had him. He was available. But now they went through this whole season with Jerod Mayo as the head coach, and they let him go after 1 year. And we've seen this many times now in the NFL where a guy's brought in, he coaches for 1 year, and the franchise lets him go and moves on. It happened to Steve Wilkes. It happened to David Culley of the Texans. Only get 1 year, and then that's it. Now, sometimes they only deserve 1 year. But the Patriots were not supposed to be good this year. This is a rebuild. But Robert Kraft, from some of his comments, he was saying that he didn't like how the team was playing as of late. that there was some regression, and that's what kind of led to the decision. Now, they had a very ugly loss against the Chargers a couple weeks ago. Chargers put up 40 points against them, but they were competitive against the Bills in Buffalo not too long ago. They just came off a win here. I mean, the first game of the year, they beat the Bengals. And what's funny is, had the Bengals had won that game, the Bengals would have been in the playoffs, and the Patriots would have had the number 1 overall pick. That one game had a huge impact on these two teams. But yeah, I guess Robert Kraft just did not like how the team was performing down the stretch here. And he said that was part of the decision. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. Jerod Mayo was done wrong here. Should have been given a longer runway here. But I guess that just was not I guess that just was not the Patriots' way of thinking at this point. They felt like it was time. Anthony also says in the chat, I want the Dolphins to fire their current OC and bring in Ryan Grubb. Actually, speaking of letting go of people, so I did see that the Titans, they let go of their GM. Yeah, the Titans, it's been a rough couple years for them. And, that's a team that, could be taking a quarterback in this upcoming draft because Will Levis doesn't seem like he's going to be the answer. But that was something that I saw. And we'll also get into the Giants in the next segment, talking about them retaining their GM and their head coach. But yeah, I feel bad for Jerod Mayo. Again, the Patriots were not expected to be good. That's why it's just I don't know why. I mean, they obviously want to get Mike Vrabel, and that's what people have said. Like, if there's a better candidate out there, it doesn't matter. Like, if you want him, you're gonna have to make a tough decision and let go of your current guy, and that's what they did. But again, like I said, if they had the opportunity, and I guess how things played out, they didn't. But if they wanted Mike Vrabel last year, they should have found a way to bring him in and avoid this bad look here. And Mike Vrabel, I think, is a good coach, and he's one of the top candidates out there right now. And, he obviously played for the Patriots, and I was reading that when they were honoring him last year, it rubbed the Titans the wrong way when he was talking about the Patriots in his speech. So I guess that part of that led to him being let go after last year. Yeah, and I don't know how true that is, but that's, something that I read. But it's obvious that he's going to get brought in and eventually be named the head coach. And a lot of Jet fans wanted Mike Vrabel. Now, one of my friends who's a Jet fan does not want Mike Vrabel. But that's, if I was the Jets, that would be one of the top guys that I would want to bring in. There's him. Brian Flores is another guy that comes up. Rex Ryan interviewed for the job, and he thinks that he's going to get it. And part of me wants Rex to get it because I just want to see Rex back on the sidelines again and talking to the media. And I just think that would just create a lot of, well, not that the Jets really need this, but this would create a lot of buzz around New York if Rex came back. I'd be all for it. And you know what? Rex won with the Jets. I know it was a long time ago, but he did do that. He was the most recent successful coach for the Jets, even though that was a long time ago. So I'm all for it if it ends up happening. I don't know if he's going to get it. I mean, maybe they go with Brian Flores. Pete Carroll is still out there too. If I was the Giants, I know they're keeping Dable and Shane, but I'd bring in Pete Carroll. I don't care how old he is. Pete Carroll's a good coach. And whoever ends up with him, someone should end up with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll could still coach. If you're a team that is closer to being a playoff team than as opposed to being a team that's rebuilding, you got to bring in Pete Carroll. That's why, if you're the Jets, Pete Carroll's another guy. And Pete Carroll is one too. But, well, Pete Carroll won a Super Bowl. Rex Ryan didn't win a Super Bowl. But, yeah, it's just a bad look for the Patriots. But you know what? It's a business at the end of the day. It's a business. It was a tough decision for them, a decision they didn't want to make. But they have another candidate in sight that they really want. And it seems like it is Mike Vrabel. So within the coming days, the coming weeks, the coming hours, Mike Vrabel could be the next head coach for the Patriots. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think, though, about this move by the Patriots. What were your takeaways from it? Let me know in the comments. Who knows if Jerod Mayo ever gets another chance to be a head coach? Maybe he does. But, yeah, just not the best look for the Patriots. But, again, it's a business. I get it. So, before we go to break, just want to remind you guys once again to tip or donate and get your comments recognized. Make sure to hit that super chat button in the chat if you want to see me acknowledge any thought or comment you may have throughout the live broadcast. Makes the show more lively, more entertaining between myself, the host, and you guys, the viewers. We appreciate you guys' viewership each and every day, so any contribution you can make to the show means the world to us as we put out content for you guys each and every day. And also, the other way to help out the show is by going to the link at the bottom of the show segment on the ticker, GSMCPodcast.net. That is GSMCPodcast.net. So when we get back from our next break, we will talk about a head coach that was retained along with the general manager, and that is the New York Giants. We will talk about them keeping both Brian Dable and Joe Shane and what that means for the organization going forward. So with that being said, stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.